I spent the evening with him. I was with him until about 1 o'clock. His spirits are good. He's confident. He is dealing with this head on, the way he's dealt with every challenge in his life.
Irv Gotti, man, Murder Boys, Murder Inc. has been accused of sexual assault. And no joke. Obviously,
I remember we snapping on Irv, like, your name is Irving, man. Get out of here. Irving. And everybody laughing. Ha. So, you need a name like Irv Gotti. Like, you gotta toughen you up.
And like everything that Jay does, it's stuck.
You're dying? Hurry up and die. Yo, it's crazy.
They was trying to get a distribution company.
It wasn't a distribution.
It was a union. Honestly, it was all Suge's idea.
It was all his plan, and it was a hell of a plan, man. He was like, yo, we get all the artists together. And he wasn't just talking about hip-hop, every artist in general. And he was like, okay, say you got $1 million budget.
Diddy's high-powered attorney making a dramatic exit, leaving everyone absolutely stunned. But here's the real tea. It all ties back to B.i.g, the legendary co-founder of Murder Inc. Records, who tragically left us on February 5th. And let me tell you, darling, Gotti wasn't just any music mogul. He was known for spilling the industry's juiciest secrets. Word on the street is that before his passing, he was sitting on some seriously explosive information about Diddy's legal troubles. Now everyone's wondering, did Gotti's revelations just blow Diddy's defense wide open, or have they unleashed something even bigger? The suspense is killing me.
$1 million with 100,000 going to the union.
Now this will all get recouped back to the artist. It'll go towards an annuity. It'll go towards a retirement fund.
And it was easy metrics because instead of you recouping $1 million, you recoup $1.1 million.
Someone left that meeting talking about our move. Unfortunately, the Feds hit all of us at the same time, which I don't think was a coincidence.
Jay went and told. He blew the spot up. Feds came in and started hitting with cases because they all said, yo, we're going to put our money together. Now think about it now, how everybody get robbed off the stream.
So I was watching A&E, and it was Gangster Week. And lo and behold, today's episode is on Albert Anastasia and the notorious Murder Incorporated. Murder Inc. came across the TV, riddled with bullets. I start screaming, that's it. I'm going crazy in my house. Like, just imagine me by myself in my boxers and a t-shirt. That's it. Because at the time, the two biggest labels was Death Row and Bad Boy. So Death Row had, the Death Row.
I love Puff.
Yeah.
He can do drugs.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh yeah. He done hit me with a Jeffrey one time. I was nigga. That Jeffrey. You can take a hit of this Jeffrey. It'll calm you down. Yeah, I smoked with Puff. I was like.
There's ways to manipulate numbers in hip hop or in music, period, and they know how to do
numbers.
it.
It's all
no, but they know how to manipulate it. Meaning, they know how to buy records. They know how to do things like that to get your numbers up high. And they did it with Music Soul Child. They'll never sit there and say it. But the facts is the facts, so it's all good.
And
everybody's forgetting how he sat there and slut-shamed the shit out of Ashanti.
He did.
And then talked about that music and then bragged about how he sold all of their publishing rights to that weirdo vampire, Lucian Grange. And he said there, I don't have to worry about BET because, I know people like Lucian Grange. So did Diddy. Did he you too?
Listen, honey, this isn't just your regular old courtroom drama. This is a full-on cultural earthquake. We're talking about fame, power, and accountability all crashing together in the most spectacular way possible. Every single detail that comes out, every leaked conversation, every shocking revelation has everyone absolutely glued to their screens. And can you blame them? The stakes couldn't be higher. But here's the thing that's got everyone buzzing. This isn't just about Diddy's reputation anymore. If this trial goes a certain way, it could completely reshape Hollywood's power structure as we know it. Everything we thought we knew about influence and accountability in the entertainment industry is being turned upside down. And darling, let me tell you about the biggest bombshell of them all, Irv Gotti's testimony. Everyone was holding their breath, waiting to hear what he had to say. I mean, this is a man who had connections to all the biggest names in the industry, including Diddy himself. His words could literally change everything about how this case plays out.
Hov is Hov. Don't get it. Hov don't need nobody. Once Hov got on, he was the guy I would be like, he didn't need nobody.
Right.
Like X needed people around him to help him.
Right.
Ja needed me to help him.
Right.
Hov, once he got on, he didn't need nobody. He could do it all himself. He'll pick the beats, fuck with the producer.
Now let me take a moment to talk about Irv Gotti's incredible journey because it's absolutely heartbreaking. Born as Irving Lorenzo in Hollis, Queens, this man fought through so many struggles, but his passion for hip-hop never wavered. From humble beginnings as a DJ and beatmaker, he rose to become an absolute powerhouse in the industry. But then, on February 5th, 2025, and I still can't believe I'm saying this, we lost him at just 54 years old. His family broke the devastating news on social media, and honestly, the entire music world is in mourning. What makes it even more tragic is that he had been battling serious health issues for years, suffering multiple strokes. Everyone knew his health was declining, but darling, no one was prepared for this. His impact on hip-hop was nothing short of revolutionary, and his legacy will live on through every artist he touched and every beat he shaped.
A huge music producer, died at the age of 54 this week. He worked with some of the biggest people in the music industry like DMX, Ja Rule, Ashanti. He, I guess, passed away on Wednesday in New York City. It's at this time, while I'm recording, not really sure how he died. We do know that he had a lot of medical issues that he suffered with over the years, had a lot of health problems. He suffered a stroke last year. He was walking with the aid of a cane. He had been very open with his struggles with diabetes. He wasn't consistent with taking his insulin. He admitted to that, and that his doctors had encouraged him to change his diet, which he also struggled to do. So we'll see if that played a factor in his death. But a lot of people obviously speaking out about it. He also worked with Jay-Z on his debut album. I mean, just a really big deal in the music industry. You probably know his name. Vanessa Carlton worked with him to produce her big album back in 2007, Heroes and Thieves. So everyone kind of knew who he was. He had left a lasting impression on the music industry, but he passed away.
And let me tell you something about Gotti that might surprise you. He wasn't just your typical hip-hop mogul. No, honey, his influence spread far and wide across different genres. Can you believe he worked with Jay-Z on his debut album? And get this, he even collaborated with Vanessa Carlton on her 2007 album, Heroes and Thieves. That's what made him so special. His impact on the music industry knew no bounds.
Tributes pouring in today for a hip-hop pioneer. Irv Gotti, the founder of Murder Inc. Records, has died. He's just 54 years old.
Gotti, whose real name is Irving Lorenzo, founded the label with his brother in the late 1990s. Over the years, he worked with top artists and helped launch the careers of many, including Ja Rule and Ashanti. His family says he died yesterday, surrounded by family and friends.
New this morning, Irv Gotti, a Queens native and founder of Murder Records, has died. The mogul's real name, Irving Lorenzo Jr. His cause of death has not been released, but the music mogul did suffer a stroke last year and had long battled diabetes-related issues. Irv Gotti was a noted record executive, music producer, and entrepreneur. He rose to fame in the late 90s and early 2000s while working with artists including Ja Rule, Ashanti, and DMX. Irv Gotti was 54.
The tributes are just pouring in for our beloved hip-hop pioneer. Irv Gotti, the visionary founder of Murder Inc. Records, has left us at just 54 years old. For those who might not know, darling, Gotti, whose real name was Irving Lorenzo, started the label with his brother back in the 90s. He worked with absolutely everybody who was anybody, launching the careers of stars like Ja Rule and Ashanti. His family shared that he passed away surrounded by loved ones. This Queens native, this absolute legend in the game, changed the face of music forever. Now here's what we know about his passing. While they haven't officially revealed the cause, we do know that he suffered a stroke last year and had been fighting diabetes-related health issues. Rising to fame in the late 90s and early 2000s, Gotti was instrumental in shaping the sound of hip-hop, working closely with iconic artists like DMX, Ja Rule, and Ashanti. His influence on the culture? Absolutely massive, darling.
Irv Gotti has revealed after suffering a stroke that he is working on a DMX biopic. Let's go over the article. Irv Gotti is reportedly on the mend from the stroke he recently suffered and already back to work on a biopic about the late DMX. The music executive's rep spoke with the Shade Room on Wednesday, August 28th, assuring that Gotti is doing well and appreciates everyone's concerns about his health. "I'm getting older, that's all," Gotti said. According to his rep, only thing worse than getting old is not getting old. Facts, man. Round of applause, Irv Gotti. That's a great way of looking at it. In addition to revealing the DMX movie, his rep also said Gotti was upset that Whack 100 revealed the private news about his health to the world. Here's the thing, though. First, I was excited about this, right? DMX biopic would be beautiful if done properly. I had planned on working on a DMX documentary a while ago when he passed. I pushed it. I'm going to be pushing it back till April 9th, which is the anniversary of his death.
But let me tell you something about Gotti that really set him apart. He wasn't just about making hits. No, honey, he was passionate about fighting for artists' rights. He was one of the few who dared to speak up about the struggles musicians face in the streaming era, especially when it came to fair pay. And get this, alongside Suge Knight, Jay Prince, and Dame Dash, he was pushing for an artists' union. Can you imagine? He was determined to level the playing field in an industry where artists often get the short end of the stick.
I love Puff. Yeah. He can do drugs. Yeah. Whoa. Oh yeah. I know. He done hit me with a Jeffrey one time. I was there. Nigga. That Jeffrey. You can take a hit of this Jeffrey. It'll calm you down. Yeah, I smoked with Puff. I was like, so soft. We were seeing things. I just got a business idea. Chocolate eggplant. Chocolate eggplant. And I said, one of the moments like, you don't think this nigga hit us with Jeffrey? I swear to God. It's all good, Bob. You can hit me with the Jeffrey.
Now hold on to your seats because this is where things get really juicy. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, just dropped an absolute bombshell that has everyone talking. According to him, and you're not going to believe this, Diddy allegedly tipped off authorities about a huge move that Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and Jay Prince were planning. Apparently, these three industry giants were working on launching a music distribution company, maybe even a union. Now everyone's wondering, could this be why so many major hip-hop figures ran into problems? If this is true, what does it tell us about the hidden power struggles in the industry?
Irv Gotti, man, Murder Boys, Murder Inc. has been accused of sexual assault. And no joke. Obviously, I don't know if Irv Gotti's ever been accused of these type of things. I don't think he has. Yeah, I don't know if he has in the history of these things. I know he's had like issues with like artists and blah, blah, and stuff, but I don't know. He's been obviously accused of the Murder Inc. funding, drug fund, blah, 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 all that stuff. But of this stuff, I think this is the first time. So there's really right now, there's nothing that we could say that he actually did this stuff. There's no solid proof. You got to give the benefit of the doubt, no matter who the person is. You can't just blatantly come out there and, say that the person did it. That's how I roll. I know, because if think about it, if you were in any of these people's shoes that get accused of these things, what would you want people to do? You wouldn't want them to believe it immediately. You would want proof.
Let's break it all down.
Well, I actually thought it was either a distribution or some kind of publishing company. But I heard Irv Gotti speak on this. But way back then, I was told it was a distribution of some kind of publishing company that he was doing. But I guess Irv would know more than I knew. But they were talking about Suge Knight was trying to form a union. That's what he was saying. But back in the day, people thought it was a distribution where blacks would distribute their own music through, distribute their own music and stuff like that. So that's what we thought it was back then. But it was truth behind the fact that it was Jay-Z and Puff that went to those folks and let them know what Suge Knight was trying to do.
Deal spilled even more tea about this plan. He said he initially thought it was just about publishing or distribution, but later heard Gotti himself confirm the details. According to him, Suge Knight was trying to form a union, a move that would have helped black artists distribute their music independently. But here's the shocking part. He claimed that Jay-Z and Diddy were the ones who informed certain people about Suge's plans, leading to major label raids.
I remember we snapping on Irv, like, your name is Irving, man. Get out of here. Irving. And everybody laughing, So, you need a name like Irv Gotti. Like, you gotta toughen you up.
And like everything that Jay does, it's stuck.
And it gets even messier. He mentioned that labels like Rap-A-Lot and Rockefeller ended up on some kind of list. Rockefeller was already dealing with drama because of Dame Dash and Jay's split.
So now you're taking your artist masters, celebrating that, justifying it, even down to the way you carry the, like where I'm from, you don't really talk about the things you do with women publicly. That's not considered something masculine. It's almost clown shit. So, again, you taking masters, justifying taking business from them because of something personal. Like, that's not even like, you have a fiduciary obligation to do what's in the best interest of the business no matter what. That's an unwritten law.
So the only thing that I have that I could sell to get me a check is those masters. And you want to take that from me?
But do they get pieced off after you sell them?
I pieced Ja off. Ja got a 7-figure check, but that's it.
I don't know whether you make some noise for that or not.
Now let's be crystal clear. These are just allegations. Neither Diddy nor anyone else has confirmed anything, but darling, this revelation has stirred up so much drama in an already messy industry. Deal pointed out that once word reached the feds, they moved fast. He suggested that certain powerful people weren't about to let go of their control over rap so easily. According to him, the industry has been held hostage by these powerful forces for years, with those at the top always finding ways to protect their interests. It's almost too much to process, but if there's even a grain of truth to this, well, it completely changes how we see the industry's biggest players. The buzz around Diddy's possible connection to Irv Gotti's tragic passing has the industry absolutely shook. Insiders can't stop talking about it, and many believe Gotti's outspoken nature and his history of calling out Diddy's alleged shady business moves might have played a role in their long-standing tension. Gotti was never one to hold back. He was famous for openly criticizing industry power players, using interviews and social media to air his frustrations.
I felt like Pigpen. In the Peanuts, the guy who always had the cloud over his head and the dirty.
Yeah.
That was me for like a good 10 years. And no one, I just felt like no one wanted to come near me, executive wise.
Right.
No one wanted. They would be like, he's really smart, but he was. What's
he
the
got
guy?
that
Belly,
cloud?
but he's kind of hot right now. I can't fuck with you.
He got that cloud on him.
I had I was Pigpen.
One of his most explosive interviews had him directly accusing Diddy of manipulating artists and putting money over people. Fast forward to 2025, and those old tensions are back in the spotlight in ways no one saw coming. But here's where things get even wilder. Some people have pointed out that Gotti had multiple strokes in 2025, and his family was told to come to the hospital to say their goodbyes. But to them, something just doesn't add up. There's speculation floating around, with some questioning why so many people connected to Diddy seem to meet tragic ends. And since Diddy himself is behind bars, the question on everyone's mind is, who else could be pulling the strings?
That's not a flex. Bragging about Lucy and Grange hooking you up don't look so good right now, do it? That ain't aging all that well. Because everybody know that Lucian has been Diddy and Deshaun Carter. They sugar baby.
The plot thickens, darling. Names like Oprah, Tyler Perry, Jay-Z, Clive Davis, Lucian Grange, and Usher are being thrown around in online discussions, adding even more layers of mystery. Some are even questioning why certain people seem to benefit from Operation Ivy Club, while others who truly need it are left out. Could there be something deeper at play?
A weirdo vampire. Lucian Grange. And he sat there, I don't have to worry about BET because see, I know people like Lucian Grange. So did Diddy. He f***ed Diddy. Did he f*** you too? Like, whoa. It's just...
Man. Straight off the back like that. Yeah. Throwing around some big names there. Whoa. Jaguar right.
And then there's all this confusion over Gotti's health. With his wealth and access to private chefs, top-tier medical care, and personal assistants, some believe he had everything he needed to manage his diabetes properly. Many have pointed out that even Harvard Medical School has acknowledged that type 2 diabetes can be reversed through diet and exercise. So was he already too far gone? Or was there something more sinister at play? Whatever the truth is, the speculation isn't dying down anytime soon.
I spent the evening with him. I was with him until about 1 o'clock. His spirits are good. He's confident. He is dealing with this head on, the way he's dealt with every challenge in his life. And he's not guilty. He's innocent of these charges. We know what the charges are going to be without seeing the indictment. It's going to be racketeering. It's going to be it's going to be things along those lines. This is what we've been expecting since the searches in March. He, to his great credit, he voluntarily came to New York. Not a lot of defendants do that. He came to New York to basically engage the court system and start the case.
Breaking news, honey. Diddy's legal team just took a massive hit. His high-profile attorney, Mark Agnifilo, has walked away from the case. This isn't just any lawyer we're talking about. Agnifilo was known for handling big-name clients, including an ex-Nex IVM leader, Keith Raniere. But with Gotti's shocking accusations shaking things up, Agnifilo has decided to step away. From the start, both Diddy and Agnifilo were adamant about one thing: they weren't taking any plea deals. They stood firm about Diddy's innocence, refusing to back down even as the media frenzy around the case intensified. Despite facing multiple allegations, including charges of exploitation and racketeering, they were ready to fight it out in court. Meanwhile, Diddy's team has been making moves behind the scenes. They've officially requested for him to be transferred to a different jail in New Jersey. The one leading that push? None other than Agnifilo himself before his exit. If his name sounds familiar, that's because he's defended some seriously high-profile clients before, including former Goldman Sachs banker Roger Ng, who was convicted of bribery and money laundering. Agnifilo's legal background is impressive. He studied philosophy and political science before earning his law degree from Brooklyn Law School in 1990. He even received the American Jurisprudence Award for his skills in trial advocacy. But despite his impressive track record, it seems this case was too messy for him to stay involved. And with the charges against Diddy getting darker by the day, it's no surprise that things are heating up. Among the accusations is one from a woman who claims Diddy assaulted her back in 2004 when she was just a 19-year-old college student. Even more disturbing, another case involves a 10-year-old boy who alleges he was forced into inappropriate behavior while under the influence of alcohol. With accusations piling up and his legal team shifting, Diddy's reputation is looking more complicated by the day.
Saying things. I just got a business idea. Chocolate eggplant. And I said, one of the moms was like, you don't think this nigga hit us with Jeffrey? I swear to God. It's all good, Papa. You can hit me with the Jeffrey.
Oh, but wait until you hear this. Diddy's infamous party scene is under the microscope once again, and attorney Tony Busby isn't holding anything back. He claims these latest allegations expose a disturbing side of the culture that Diddy allegedly encouraged. One of the accusers, Rachel Kennedy, shared a bizarre detail from her experience. She said there was incriminating footage playing on a continuous loop in Diddy's Tokyo hotel room when they met in 2000. And get this, she claimed Diddy was on the phone with Jennifer Lopez, who he was dating at the time. Rachel later opened up about the incident on the Daily Maze, The Trial of Diddy podcast, saying the whole situation felt weird, unsettling, and straight up disrespectful. So how did she end up in that room? According to Rachel, she and two friends met Diddy at a club in Tokyo, where he invited them back to his hotel for what they assumed would be a regular party. But when they arrived, there was no party, just Diddy alone. She said they later engaged in a consensual encounter, though the eerie atmosphere left a lasting impression. As for J.Lo, she hasn't commented on any of the legal drama surrounding her ex, but the bigger picture here is even darker. Hollywood has long been accused of covering up serious issues, and some claim the industry's biggest secret is the widespread presence of predatory behavior. One insider put it bluntly, saying the biggest problem in Hollywood has always been attraction to minors, describing it as an open secret, something no one talks about but everyone knows is happening. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal team is scrambling to keep up as the allegations accusations pile up. They're calling the media frenzy reckless, but for Busby, this isn't his first rodeo. He's taken on high-profile lawsuits before, representing clients in cases against NFL star Deshaun Watson and even the Boy Scouts of America. Busby made it clear that names will be revealed, but not without careful consideration. He emphasized that they won't just throw out accusations in interviews. Instead, they'll take their time to ensure the claims are solid before filing lawsuits. He also hinted that when the names finally drop, people will be shocked.
When we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any more dramatic, Jay-Z's name has come up in Tony Busby's latest lawsuit against Diddy. According to the legal filing, Jay-Z is being accused of being one of the male celebrities involved with a 13-year-old girl. Jay-Z has already responded, and there's a separate video breaking down what he said, but now Busby is clapping back, basically saying that Jay-Z was actually the high-profile celebrity who recently sued him. Busby didn't hold back in his statement, pointing out that Jay-Z had previously denied suing him and his firm, but according to Busby, Jay-Z actually filed the lawsuit under a fake name. What really stood out, though, was Busby's claim that his firm had sent a demand letter to Jay-Z's lawyer on behalf of an alleged victim, not to ask for money, but to request a private mediation. He went on to accuse Jay-Z of trying to intimidate both him and the plaintiff instead of handling the situation properly. But instead of backing down, Busby said the woman at the center of the case is more determined than ever to speak her truth. He made it clear that they're going to fight this in court, not in the media. Now here's where things get even crazier. Busby has been saying for a while that the number of civil cases against Diddy could be huge, possibly over 300. Since he first spoke out in October, his team has apparently been flooded with over 3,000 calls. After vetting the claims, he believes that somewhere between 100 and 150 cases could actually move forward. And these aren't just random accusations. They involve both men and women and include serious allegations of misconduct, coercion, intoxication, and even exploitation spanning over 2 decades. So let's break this down. First, Busby gets sued for extortion, then he fires back with his own lawsuit claiming harassment, and now somehow Jay-Z is mixed up in all of this. This whole situation has completely spiraled. What started as a case against Diddy has now dragged in other major names, with at least 3 additional players getting involved. And with Busby leading the charge, someone who's no stranger to high-profile cases, including the Deshaun Watson lawsuit, this is far from over. Things just keep getting worse for Diddy. After vetting the claims, Busby is now representing 120 individuals, an equal split of 60 men and 60 women, including 25 children who plan to take legal action. And according to Busby, some of these accusations are extremely disturbing. These claims span over 30 years and involve serious allegations including substance-fueled attacks, similar to what federal prosecutors outlined in their criminal case against Diddy. Criminal case against Diddy. Criminal case.